Hi, Ray Cassidy here from Consulting Cumbria Limited, and we're looking at how the local flavour of internet marketing can help your business get found in your local catchment area. What's so sexy about local SEO? Short answer, not a right lot until it starts to work. Okay, a couple of things we're going to look at, sort of the why really. Because it is a different focus to national. I know a little bit more than most people, but I certainly wouldn't put myself down as the expert. I've got a lot more to learn, but I can get you started very, very effectively. You need to know where it fits into your marketing plan, because it doesn't replace your marketing plan, it is part of it, but a very important and increasingly important part. There's a lot of statistical evidence as well as to why you should be looking at this avenue, these channels of marketing. Despite the advances in social media work, keyword research and basic SEO is still very important even at the local level. Mobile marketing and social media marketing are all part of the picture. They're all part of the optimization scene. They do not replace it. Never knacker your nap. Your nap is critical. NAP, the data that defines you as a particular individual local entity in Google's universe. Name, business address, business phone number. Those are the three critical ingredients of stamping your authority on a particular area. So don't wreck it, don't get it wrong. Keep those details absolutely sort of identical as you can in every single place you put your business name, whether it's the local paper putting a report out about you, whether it's in press releases, whether it's in a directory listing, whatever it is, try and keep those three pieces of information absolutely consistent. And also, if you're targeting a local area, a locality, then for goodness sake get a local coded phone number. It doesn't have to be a real one, it can be a virtual one, but a real one is by far and away the best. Just some of the services and companies I work with, I've left it on because it can be useful as a starting point for getting your listings out if you're brand new, but the UK offering, it falls apart when you renew. I've had a couple of 3 run-ins with these guys now, and I can't really recommend them. Some local people, Joe Miller, Nigel Burney and Stuart Frank, these are all very, very involved. Some of the customers we work with. What is SEO? It's search engine optimization. It's not about tricking Google, it's about being relevant. It's about tuning your website into your customers, not trying to make them tune into what you think. It's about being customer centric. It's also about being clear about the objective of that particular page that you're driving people to. Is it sales? Is it sales now and positioning for later? Is it, local domination as you build your empire? Whatever it is, be clear in your mind as you understand what the customer is looking for and the ways in which they are searching online. Some useful data that supports the importance of these inbound styles of marketing, the search and social methods of getting customers. Optify ran a huge survey on last year's data, and not surprisingly the big G is still sort of pretty much a monopoly on search data and the traffic that comes from it. But there are massive communities on Facebook and Amazon, as you already know, and the other social media channels and many other channels also have large gatherings of people which might just suit your market. But do not forget about Google. It's got a lot for you. For B2B businesses, Organic search is still the biggest driver of visitors to websites. In terms of cost of acquiring leads, this graph is a very simplistic view of it all, but the data in the rest of the Hubspot report from 2013 is still pretty consistent with this graph, and these four here, the four lowest cost ways of getting leads according to 27 and 25 and 24% of the marketers surveyed when they had to rank all the various channels that they use. And these are offline marketers, these are big time online marketers, these are traditional marketers. You know, it's a great massive crowd, a very diverse church, in terms of which social media channels actually convert and produce leads. Facebook still the clear leader, but their gradual squeezing of how many people show up in any one feed is going to have a serious impact on their effectiveness and will actually present opportunities for these other channels. But LinkedIn, and the most underused bit of social, going, your company blog. These are enormously effective at generating customers, and I would keep an eye on these two over the next year or two. I suspect they will become much stronger. Do they kill the SEO angle? No, they don't. They work best if you are driving traffic from the social media channel to the website. Whatever level of interaction you've got on Facebook or on LinkedIn or company blog or on Twitter or Google or Pinterest, they change the rules, they change their algorithm, they can have you out of there and dead in a heartbeat. So whatever you do, the people, the leads you gather, drive them to your website so that you own their data. Don't just leave it in the hands of Facebook or Google or LinkedIn or Twitter, because, you know, Facebook pages get shut down just like that. It only takes one whinge. Now that's the general picture. What about from the local angle? What actually matters in terms of getting you ranked highly in the searches so that local customers can see you? Basically, place page signals. So this is getting all your Google data in place. External location signals, what that's all about is directory listings, citations, newspaper reports, all that kind of stuff. Get those, you know, get plenty of those going. And NAP, keep that NAP consistent. This, for most small businesses, is the most important starting point, because this is what you've got complete control of. This is where you can tune your web pages, your website, into what the customers are looking for. And then by getting the first two items right, you can really power up your local online presence. Link signals. Links kind of took a bit of a trashing last year with the various penguins and pandas and things, and but at the end of the day, Google still uses links to judge whether a site is worth showing in the search results. A link from another website gives you authority, but make sure it's a good website. Don't go the spammy route, because it does hurt you. Google is very, very good at detecting the sort of spammy links. And their latest change, which kicked off on October the 4th, I think they're calling it Panda 2.1, that is really targeting the obviously paid for links. So beware. Reviews are important for local. Think of the effect and the stress that a TripAdvisor review can cause. Social signals, the actual number of Google Pluses, likes and Twitter followers, it's it's significant, but it's pretty low down the pecking order. These three first, those are your first three to deal with. What happens when the visitors get on your website? That is the next thing. And then what has again come to the fore this year, this is the big change this year, this factor here, what happens on the Google listings and what happens in personalization. For the first time, they've really raised their head as important, very important factors in getting seen locally. So that's about getting to the top of the searches and being seen. And with the change over to mobile devices, you would have thought that this pie chart would look very different when you looked at how it works for people searching from desktops compared with people searching from mobile devices. But in fact, you know, subtle differences, but at the end of the day, not a lot. They're pretty similar, if not almost identical. Okay, so those factors that you saw mentioned before, still crucial. Why is it important? Well, this is the click-through rate on Google. This is 2-year-old data, but the pattern is still the same, even if the percentages are slightly shifted. You know, get to number 1, because if you're number 2, you're only getting 2/3 the clicks, or nearly half, only just over half. Same sort of pattern in Bing, and it's also true in Yahoo. Other things being equal, the higher you are, the more you get clicked on. I'm not going to go through each of these individual statistics, but all these new kinds of behaviour are what's driving the online marketing movement. It's why people are shifting from phone books and paper, and why people are sort of stuffing flyers into the recycle as soon as they come through the letterbox. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on online, and that is where people's eyeballs are. So you've got to get used to this complex mix of a lot of simple things that you need to do. Whether it's getting the on-site local SEO sorted out, or whether it's getting your directory listing sorted, or whether it's getting press releases sorted for anything that happens, and indeed linking your paper advertising that you still might use to your online presence. Some more stats. Basically, local search is becoming more important, it's becoming more competitive, even in a relative backwater like Carlisle or Cumbria. You know, the phone directories have shrunk. They're just shadows of their former selves. And as mobile search becomes more and more popular, as more and more people kind of begin to get it, then basically you need to be visible in mobile. You know, this is not a local firm, I don't think, can't remember now, but I think they're somewhere down the country. But you know, if your website is still showing up like that in various mobile devices, then it is, I'm afraid, a fail, because if they can't read it, the customer can't read it, and they can't find your phone number within the first few seconds, they're gone, and your competitor gets their business. What are we talking about with local search? When you put search into Google, and Google is still far and away the most important channel, so we'll concentrate on it, whether you're searching from a desktop machine or whether you're searching on a mobile phone. Everybody by now is probably aware that these are paid ads from the AdWords system, or AdSense if they're appearing on your website. And you know, these guys are prepared to cough up a bit more dosh, and these are, if you like, the also runs. Painters and decorators in Penrith. Okay, directory listings showing up quite strongly. If directory listings are showing up quite strongly, that's a good indication that your competitors, as well as yourself, haven't yet got their online marketing act together yet. Now, the organic results, where we can make a difference with what's being revealed in these little videos and sessions, is this area here within the blue box. And within that blue box are the localized results that are tied into the map, which is why your Google data's got to be pretty darn good, and your Google Places or plus local or business page listing has to be well optimized, well sorted, well thought through. If you've got a really strong listing, a really strong web page that really does answer a particular search query, you can actually get on top of those map listings, and that's a pretty strong place to be. You are likely to get a good deal of traffic. And if you've also got your places listing in there, and you've also snuck a couple of good strong listings in that which also show up for that search, then you have got a very, very strong marketing position. And the same is true on the mobile. And quite often the map listings are what comes up in mobile search. Here for painters and decorators, I'm quite surprised it's not showing any map listings or pins for places. Okay, so that's the anatomy. They're the places you need to be. Your online strategy needs to address two things. Three things. Targeted traffic, so that's getting people that want what you've got and are ready to buy. And the only way you're going to do that is by knowing what their real tricky question is, what their real heart's desire is. And that's knowing how to target that with your website, with your Facebook page, with your directory listings. If you know how to do that, or you can get help to do that, then you can really boost your revenues. When they land, they've got to convert, so it's got to be a pleasant experience, an engaging website that turns your visitors into customers. So if your mobile can't be read when those people land on it, or if your website can't be read on that mobile, then that ain't going to engage them. You've got to, you'll have lost that business. And somehow you want to be generating those repeat sales referrals. Have a process for coming back and reviewing and telling others. Okay, so the next in this series will address the actual process of improving your local SEO oomph. Bye for now, Ray Cassidy, Consulting Cumbria.